Greetings and namaste. This is Michael Monk, and this is going to be exercise 1 of the lesson 3 section, Lucid Dreaming Preparation. This is going to be a compilation of things that you are going to do at night and throughout the day to vastly increase your chances of gaining consciousness, of gaining lucidity within the dream state. And the first one that I would like to discuss is dream journaling, and this is by far the most important. What I want you to do is to get yourself an MP3 recorder. It is also possible for you to use an MP3 recorder app on your cell phone, but just make sure that it is easy for you to access. The idea behind this and why we're not using pen and paper to do our dream journaling is that when we wake up in the night after having a dream, we're going to want to journal or record that dream. Every single detail that we can muster, that we can grab onto, we want to speak that into the MP3 recorder, and we want it to be as easy as possible, because the more things that you have to do to get this journal, to get the dream recorded, means the more your consciousness is going to come awake, which is going to make it harder for you to get back to sleep. So we want to be able to do all of this with still being in a very dreamlike, sleepy state. We don't want you to have to wake up into regular waking consciousness. So if your cell phone has an app to record MP3 files, and you're able to basically operate it with your eyes closed or barely open, then that's fine to use. Otherwise, get one of the MP3 recorders. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them from Walmart, Target. We'll include a couple of links so that you can have some good options to choose from. But basically, you just want one that's as simple as possible to operate. And then what you want to do is record your dreams at night right after you have them. So the split second that you wake up from a dream experience, I want you to reach over, grab your MP3 recorder, and speak every single little detail that you can imagine into it. Now, what this is doing and why this is so important is that right away upon awakening, the details of that dream can still be accessed by you. And that's because the small little part of your brain that's associated with storing memories from the dream space, from the multidimensional spiritual state, is activated. It's operating. So you're able to actually bridge this gap. And the more details that you can muster, the more you're going to cement that connection and exercise that part of the brain that is associated, whose function is to record data from the multidimensional spiritual state. So every single dream that you record in your recorder, and the more details that you can clearly state, then that equates to the more you flex this part of your brain, the more you activate it, and the more it becomes functional for this purpose. The other thing that you're going to want to do is listen to the last few nights' dreams before you go to bed at night. So you're recording your dreams throughout the week. So each night as you're about to go to sleep, I want you to grab your MP3 recorder and listen to the dreams from the past few nights. Because this is going to do the same thing. It's going to trigger that part of the brain that's associated with storing memories from the dream state. It's going to exercise that, initiate it, and connect you to it right before going to sleep, which is going to massively increase your chances of having a lucid dream. And the final thing I want you to do at night before you go to sleep is set intentions. So right before you're feeling tired enough to sleep, I want you to state to yourself with conviction and authority that I will wake up inside of my dream tonight. Say it with strength, force, and conviction. And you don't need to repeat it. You don't need to do it a bunch of times, because if you're doing that, you're saying to the self that you don't quite believe that it's going to happen. So just set the intention once, make it strong, and make it firm. I will wake up in my dreams tonight. The next thing we are going to do is we're going to set alarm tones that are going to go off throughout the day. So everybody's cell phone has some type of alarm system in it. And if not, you can download an app from the App Store to serve this function, but you're going to want an alarm program that allows you to have multiple alarms. The more the better, because we're going to end up with about 5 to 10 of them, depending on how you choose to do it. But what you want to do is set an alarm tone. You're going to choose a specific tone for your alarm that is going to become your lucidity alert, and you're going to have this go off 3 to 5 times throughout the day at random moments. And so you're just going to be at your job, you're going to be with your family doing whatever it is that you normally do, and all of a sudden that special tone is going to go off on your cell phone, and you're going to be like, what? What's going on? Oh yeah, right. My lucid dreaming alert. And then I want you to turn off the alarm and state to yourself with force and conviction, I am dreaming. Now what this is going to do is it's going to set a pattern. The things that we do in our waking life tend to reflect or open up into dreamtime experiences. And we all know this from meeting characters from movies that we've seen or books that we've read or hearing songs that we've heard in our physical life. The things that we do here in the physical world tend to echo into our multidimensional spiritual time. So by setting these tones and having it go off throughout the day, you're going to start getting these moments within your dreams where your cell phone goes off, that tone rings, and you're going to pick up your phone within the dream and say, I am dreaming. And then you go, oh, wait, I am dreaming. And boom, congratulations, you're now lucid. So these alarm tones are going to help a lot. And also the stating with conviction each time it goes off that I am dreaming. This is going to echo into your spiritual reality, and you're just going to find your dreaming self to be focused on this fact that it is dreaming. And the more that happens, the more your chances of gaining lucidity are going to go up and up and up. The next thing I want you to do with this alarm system is to set what we call awareness alert tones for while you're sleeping. And you're going to want these to go off about every hour and a half, and then have them go off once or twice. So let's say that you go to bed at 11 o'clock typically is when you fall asleep. You would have your first alarm go off somewhere around 12:30 or 1 in the morning, and you might want to set 1, you might want to set 2. There's no specific rule to all of this. You're just going to have to experiment and see what works best for you. But you want the awareness alert tone to be something different than your alarm tone that was going off through the day. You want it to be a very mild chime, like a simple ding, ding, like a bell, or just one single tone that goes off that's a little bit sharp but not continuous. The idea of these awareness alert tones is that you're going to be asleep, you're going to be within the dreaming state, and then ding, that light little sound is going to go off and not quite wake you up, but not go unnoticed either. So it's going to allow your consciousness, which is fast asleep and dreaming, to have a cue to gain a little bit of alertness, which can make all the difference in the world. Because guys, the difference between a vivid dream and a lucid dream, it is a tiny little hair. As your dreams get more dialed in and more vivid, you are so close to being conscious, to being lucid within the dream state. You just got to cross over that little tiny threshold, and these awareness alert tones will do that. Now, once you've had that magic moment where you realize I am dreaming, and you wake up and gain lucidity, and there you are. You're in spirit. You're in the spirit world. You're in a lucid dream. Congratulations. Now what you're going to want to do is initiate a surrender to your multidimensional soul that exists simultaneously within your being as a radiant sphere of living light shining outward from within you. So just like we've shown this part of your being exists simultaneously within the physical body, it also exists simultaneously within the dreaming bodies. And this is your multidimensional self. This is you. This is who you are, independent of being incarnated in various embodiments. So this part of yourself knows how to travel multidimensionally. It knows what it is that you need to see, what it is that you need to hear, what it is that you need to experience to gain more knowledge to further you along in your life path. So you can do this all alone with just your human consciousness. You can gain lucidity and go off exploring. That's what I did for my first 50 or 100 out-of-body experiences. And I really got nowhere. I mean, I didn't have any earth-shattering experiences. I didn't meet profound people or learn any life lessons until I started learning to surrender to the soul, to the God within my being, to the higher self, to the multidimensional spiritual state which exists simultaneously with your human embodiment and your various spiritual embodiments as well. So what you're going to want to do once you gain lucidity is simply levitate a little bit off the ground. And that's easy. It is very easy to levitate when you're in the lucid dream experience. Basically, all you got to do is think and feel up, and you'll start to rise off the ground. If you have any trouble with that, you can do a little jumping motion first. Just jump up in the air and then hold yourself with willpower, and you'll float there in the air instead of come back down. Once your feet are floating and you're no longer touching the ground, I just want you to reach your consciousness within yourself, knowing that this greater part of your being dwells within you, and simply say to this greater part of your being, take me where I need to go. And then surrender, relax. Do not have a grip on your energy. Do not have a grip on your willpower. Just be in a state of allowance and surrender. And what's going to happen is that this invisible force that's inside and outside of your body simultaneously in the living light is going to grab hold of you and move you, either shift you dimensionally or move you spatially through the world that you're already in, but it's going to take you where you need to go to experience what it is that you need to experience. When it first came to me to do this technique of surrendering to the soul, to the higher self in the living light, it grabbed a hold of my body within the dream state, and it shifted me at high speed into another reality, and I ended up inside the dream of my father, who I hadn't seen in 20 years. So I got to alert my father to the fact that we were dreaming, that we're inside of a dream experience, and I proved it to him by levitating, and he was amazed. And I got to hang out with him. I got to talk to him. I got to heal, because in this reality on Earth, I haven't seen him in 20 years. He just took off and left. So there's a lot of resolution to be had there. So that's just one example of how your multidimensional soul can know what it is that you need to experience and provide that experience for you. But the more comfortable you can get with surrendering to this part of your being, the more things it's going to be able to show you, and you are going to learn at an accelerated rate how to operate in the multidimensional spectrum. And pay attention, because you don't want to use the soul like a crutch to where you always have to depend on it. So pay attention what it is that it's doing, how it is that it's shifting you, so that you can learn these things for yourself and eventually in more advanced levels travel independently and according to the will of your human self. The last thing that I want to discuss for this exercise is holding the projection. Because once you are in the lucid spiritual state, right away you're going to notice how easy it is to get ejected from that state of consciousness and placed right back into your body. This can happen so easily if you get startled, if you get too excited, if you get afraid, if you get out of tune with your surroundings. There's so many things that can just bring you right back to your body and cancel the projection. So I'm going to share with you some techniques that'll help you hold the projection and stay in your spirit form for a longer amount of time. And the first is being non-reactionary. Being nonchalant, just like we talked about on the previous lesson. As you have reactions to things external from you, it disturbs your state of consciousness, which is a delicate balance that allows you to be multidimensional. So practice being nonchalant, being non-reactionary. Just try to not care at all about what experience is in front of you. And I realize that's difficult, and it's just going to take time and practice. You're going to be amazed. You're going to get excited, and it's going to kick you back to your body. But just remember what we're stating here and just start prepping yourself to be non-reactionary, and that's going to help you to stay out of your body for a much longer period of time. The other thing that can aid you tremendously in holding a projection within a world is to eat and drink from within that world. Consume food or water or any type of liquid from within that world, and this is going to allow you to hold that projection for a much longer period of time. And the reason is you are taking something from this reality, and this reality vibrates in its own spectrum. Every reality has its own unique vibration. So when you consume food and drink from a reality that you're in, you are taking that vibration and internalizing it within your body, which is going to allow you to hold that projection easily and for a long period of time. So when you gain lucidity, try to find something to eat and something to drink as soon as possible. The other thing that you're going to want to do is to allow the external reality to tune the internal reality. So it's just like we explained on the consciousness screen. When you gain lucidity, instead of wandering off or doing something right away, surrendering to the soul, take a few seconds, maybe as much as 30 seconds, and go into an equalized focus and examine the reality. Everything with an equalized focus, just like we taught you with the consciousness screen, and allow that to tune your mind internally. And you'll notice as you do this that you start to feel more connected. You start to feel more grounded and more anchored into the alternate spiritual reality that you find yourself in. And oftentimes when you gain lucidity, it'll be a bit blurry, it'll be out of focus, and this is a way that you can bring it into focus, is to merge your vision with the external reality and allow it to tune backwards, to tune your internal reality within yourself. The final thing that is going to help you to hold the projection for longer and serves as an emergency method if it starts to slip away and you're losing it, is to stomp the floor, slap the walls, touch, and physically engage with the reality around you. And so you might be out of your body in this lucid experience, and you'll know when you start to lose it because everything starts to fade away. And when this happens, reach out for something to slap. It's superior to touch something with your hands because these are more sensitive and this will tune you back into the reality. But if nothing is in front of you in close access for your hands to touch, then the next best thing is to stomp the floor. And this just reinitiates to your consciousness a tuning to this external reality. And it is a very effective technique. If you're about to lose it, just slap the walls, touch a table, stamp the floor, whatever is immediately around you. And this sensory connection through the sense of touch is going to dial you right back into the reality. I've had lucid experiences that would have only been 3 minutes last as long as an hour or even a full day of perceived dream time, simply because as they begin to fade out, I would slap the walls, touch the table, stamp the floor, etc. Okay, that's all for the techniques to achieve lucid dreaming. I massively look forward to the success that you are going to have with this one. It is an amazing experience beyond words, and I look forward to the feedback. Namaste, and God bless you.